Good morning and welcome to Cawfeetawk. Breaking up with somebody that you are in a romantic relationship with or a friendship with is one of the most heartbreaking things you will ever go through. But breaking up with someone you still love, someone who hasn't done the whole Hollywood ending, you broke my heart, you're a piece of crap thing, is even harder. You know, the relationship I was in before Michael was a breakup that was long overdue. I was in an mentally and emotionally abusive relationship. Manipulative, narcissistic, awful relationship. So when that breakup came, I was devastated more because I allowed it to get to that point, not because I was in love. When two people make a decision to separate, but they still love each other, it is like a death. It is when my friendship with my best friend ended after 25 years. It ended because what I needed from the friendship, she could not give me. And years I had settled for less than I deserved and less than I wanted because I loved her so much and because I wanted to be that friend for her. And she would often joke and say things like, well, I'll never be the best friend you are because it's just not who I am. And she was telling me who she was for years. I was choosing to believe that if I loved her enough, if I showed up enough, if I was there for the kids enough, that she would eventually become the best friend I needed, when the truth is she was never going to be that. But when I ended the friendship, it almost emotionally killed me. I knew it had to happen, but when you still love somebody, friendship or family or romantic, whatever it is, and you have to end the relationship, it is excruciating because they are still, if there's been no dramatic fallout, no big fight, nothing for you to hold on to in anger, then you have to process the loss in a grieving way. They are still the person you want to call when something funny happens. They are still the person you want to text the sneaky pic to when the woman in Walmart is wearing like a Santa bikini or whatever. When something happens with my children, I still immediately think, oh, I have to tell her. And I can't. And the truth is that it will eventually get easier. And it is, and it has gotten easier. But ending a relationship when you still love somebody is like walking, I don't know, through a desert, knowing that eventually you will find like a giant water fountain. It's just really far away. And I am at the crossroads with another friend who, sadly, I just believe that it's the end of our road. I believe friends come into your life for a reason, season, or lifetime. And sometimes that season is to help somebody get through something or to let them help you or whatever. And then a few years down the road, you realize what you had in common, you no longer do. And that you're not the same people and you don't want or need the same things. And you have to sort of let it drift away. But when you love somebody, it's so hard to say goodbye because you it feels weird. Like it feels like, but we love each other, so we shouldn't say goodbye, right? But sometimes we all know love is not enough to maintain any relationship. Love is necessary in the right relationships, but it is not the saving ingredient in the wrong relationships. That I can tell you. Let me say that to you one more time. Love is necessary in the right relationships. Necessary. But it is not the saving ingredient in the wrong relationships. Love will never be enough to save a friendship or a romantic relationship or a family relationship if it is not right for you. If love was enough, nobody would ever separate. Come on. So, I know that I am probably faced with another heartbreaking decision. And I know that a lot of people go through this and people grow apart. Their seasons come to an end. But it doesn't make it any less heartbreaking. And I know a lot of people have been through this. When you are with someone that you love, they become like it becomes more of like a comfort thing than anything else. And the only way to grow in any part of your life is to move. Keep moving. And if you stay in a stale friendship or a stale relationship just because you love the person, but you know it can't be right for you, it's not fulfilling, it's not stimulating, you're not growing, you're not using the gifts that have been given to you, then it's not an effective experience for you anymore. You were created to be outstanding. That's how you were created, to be outstanding, not mediocre, not less than, none of that. So if you know going into any part of your life that you were created solely to be outstanding, you have to constantly be growing, learning, and evaluating the situations you're putting yourself in with relationships. If the people you are spending your time with are not enriching you, if they're not pouring into you, if you're not pouring into them, if you are not moving forward together, in some way, you may want to think about whether it's time to move on. Because we can only be outstanding if we are moving forward in a positive direction. But if you are in a relationship with someone who's holding you back, but you don't want to move on because you love them, maybe reevaluate or retool what the relationship is. I have a girlfriend who dated a guy for 4 years, and it was sort of like, are you going to get married or are you not going to get married? And she realized at the end of the day that his flaws that she used to think were so cute, she didn't want to live with forever. But she loved him. And the thought of hurting him or not being with him was terrifying to her. But at the end of the day, she had to do what was right for her. So, they retooled the relationship. At first, he needed a clean break and he was heartbroken and he needed a completely clean break. But they're just starting to work on their friendship now. And she's with a great guy, the right guy, who now she knows it never could have been anybody else. Anyway, something to think about. It's Monday. I love you all. I really do love you today. Have a great day.